Week 7 is here, motherfuckers. We got a Monday night doubleheader tonight, which means double the picks, double the money won. We'll get to that later in the show. Mason Doyle joins, Baltimore Ravens fan. He's going to get up on here, fucking talk about his Baltimore team as they take on the Bucs tonight in that first game. A little bit different this week. Instead of game starting at 6:30 and then 7:15, we're staying up late tonight, fucks. 7:15 first game kicks off, second game 8 p.m. So we're gonna have ourselves a fucking night. No one's going to bed early tonight. If you are, fucking tune off right now. I don't even want you on here. Let's get into our first story of the game. Let's talk about both our teams' respective wins yesterday. I'll go first because we're gonna kind of include all of the NFC North games because there was a lot of thrillers going on yesterday. So let's talk about the Colts real quick. Not a big win by any means, but a win is a win. And honestly, it was ugly at most times, but again, a win is a win. We're above 500. That's all that matters. I was pretty pissed off at Anthony Richardson at halftime, but he collected himself, and we got a little luck from the football gods. Tyler Huntley went out, and Tim Boyle went in, who I think is the worst quarterback in the history of the NFL, worse than Nathan Peterman. Tim Boyle is a loser, and as soon as he came in, I knew we were certified gold. And like I said, I think it was like 16-10, something like that, final score. We'll take it. Fuck Miami. They have some things to figure out. I think hopefully for Miami fans, it sounds like Tua is going to try to come back as soon as this week already. So you could see fucking Hawk Tua back again if you're a Dolphins fan. That's a whole conversation, a different conversation in itself. But what were your thoughts on the Colts? Again, like I said, I'm just happy to pick up the win, happy to go above 500. The Dolphins, they got to turn it around fast. They got to get anything going.
Yeah, you'll take the win. If you'd have lost to Tim Boyle, you would add some problems, I think. But you're still in the playoff, the 7 seed right now with a 42% chance to make the playoffs, according to NFL.com. And a solid win. I still think Joe Flacco should be playing, but I'll leave that to the Colts fans and the Colts organization. And I was a little afraid for you because the Dolphins, although they're missing Hawk Tua, are very good at running the ball. And that's not what you guys are great at doing, is stopping the run. So I kind of thought the Dolphins were going to get the win here, and he did okay against the run. You averaged 4.7 yards, led up 188, but on 40 carries. Yeah, good job getting the win. And now you go on to play. Oh shit, you go to Houston next week.
Yeah, we actually got some schedule news today. In 2 weeks from now, week 9, we're supposed to play at fucking like noon. They bumped the Colts up to Sunday Night Football. Colts Vikings is Sunday Night Football in 2 weeks. They took off the Jags and the Eagles.
Good, thank God. Thank God.
I'm looking forward to
that. Yeah, you guys are in a good spot. 4-3. You get the dub against the Dolphins, who they need Tua bad. They need him back bad. They're just a bad football team without him.
They are. I feel kind of bad for Tyler Huntley. He's trying to prove himself in the league. This was his opportunity. He goes out. Who knows what would have happened? But I did know one thing. As soon as he went out and I saw Tim Boyle was going in, I know we were fucking golden. Tim Boyle fucking is literally the worst quarterback I've ever seen. He fucking threw like 4 touchdowns and like 18 interceptions in college, some shit like that. He's thrown like 4 touchdowns and 13 picks in the NFL. He's a loser everywhere he's gone, and somehow he keeps a job because he's supposedly pretty smart. He can read defense as well. Well, I don't give a shit. He can't play the position. Fucking go into coaching then if you know your X's and O's. Don't go out there and try to play quarterback, buddy.
It's like Kurt Benkert from the Packers, if you ever see his clips. 2 things on this, actually. I get so intrigued by this kind of shit. Tyron Huntley has an opportunity here. He's been a backup his whole life. He was a great backup at Ravens, almost played himself into a starting spot. Okay. Goes to the Dolphins, elite talent around him again. And he has this opportunity to maybe even play himself into a starting spot next year. Like, at least be talked about if he were to run the table or, just play well. And he just, I don't know if it's his fault, OC's fault, Mike McDaniel's fault, if Tua's just that good, but he will no longer be in consideration of a starting job, probably ever again in his career. And The other thing was, is there a possibility McDaniels gets fired this year? A coach like that's on a very short leash. When you got a personality, you're young, you're I think more often than not have a better chance getting fired, obviously, than not. I think if they go like 5-13 this year, 12, there's a chance he's gone.
I think there definitely is a chance. I have nothing against stoners and stoner culture. But I think the whole pothead Miami guy, cool guy shtick is kind of wearing off. I think the fans are like, dude, it was cool at first, kind of quirky, but now we're going to shit, and you ain't changing nothing. And now that I think about it, I don't really want my NFL coach to be a big fucking pothead.
Hold on. This is the problem we have as fans. If he was winning, we wouldn't have this problem. He's in there with Sirianni with their antics and just weird shit they got going on off the field. If they're winning, it's not a problem. The minute you start losing and you're doing this shit, though, you're kind of screwed. So I don't know. I think I made a comment on someone else is going to get fired this year last podcast, but I think there might be two. I think Mike McDaniels might get fired by the end of the year.
I think so. If this path continues, they might have to consider it. I mean, they got to the playoffs last year, but lost right away. Blew a chance at winning the division in the last couple of weeks. And they had some high flying offense. I mean, that was an elite offense. He hasn't done shit with it. And now, like I said, they're losing games, and I understand Hawk Tua's been out for a couple of weeks. But other quarterbacks have lost. A lot of teams have lost quarterbacks. I mean, the Colts lost Anthony Richardson for a couple of weeks. It's happened to other teams in the past where the backup steps in. It's not a totally unique situation. And he was ill-prepared. He had nothing ready to go. Tyler Huntley was a Pro Bowler in Baltimore. He should have been able to step in there and do pretty well. But they've looked like shit. And who knows what would have happened last week. I'll give him some benefit of the doubt. If Tyler Huntley stays in that game, there's a chance things go differently. But unfortunately, they've decided to bring in Tim Boyle as his backup, who doesn't even fit their system. And he's awful. He's one of the worst quarterbacks to ever play the game. And so they had no shot when he went down. But McDaniel, that whole shtick, like I said, I think it's kind of running its course. If I was a Dolphins fan, I'd be starting to get a little peeved. I'm like, dude, can you fucking maybe figure out this offense? Stop talking all fucking weird, showing up stoned every practice.
I think he's stoned when he coaches.
He definitely is. He is.
By the way, you have to bear with me, Sheets. It's my Jordan flu game.
Hey, I appreciate you stepping in. That's what it's all about.
I couldn't talk yesterday. It's a little better today, but still not great.
You sound fine. You sound good. It'll be patched up in no time.
I sound like a winner.
You sound like a winter?
A winner.
You sound like a winner?
Yeah.
You might be. I know I'm a winner. I'm feeling like a winner. And so were your Packers yesterday. Talk to us about that Packers game, Sheets.
Yeah, against your rival. You got to be pretty happy we won that game, right?
Yes, I was a big Packers fan yesterday. Go Pack, go! It's not often I find myself cheering for the Pack, but when I do, I root hard. And yesterday, you got it done. Made that division race a little bit tighter, and made this coming week's game a little bit more interesting. So, I was a big Pack fan yesterday, and I bet on you guys. But you missed the spread by half a point. Should have taken the money line.
Well, I hear you. I normally would feel bad, but I'm just happy we got the win. Yeah, look, I was confident in them last year. I was not as confident as I am right now in this Packers team to make a run, at least get to the Super Bowl. Our defense flies around for the most part. They play really well, and we got a couple of rookies that are stepping up. Jordan Love, besides Josh Allen, there may not be a better comparison for if you were to mix Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre together. That's literally what Jordan Love is. He's a gunslinger, but he throws those picks, but he's also, for the most part, pretty accurate on those short passes. I don't know. I'm confident in him. I think he's going to clean up the picks. It was a good win. I'll take a win over the Texans any day of the week. And fun fact for you, Sheets. If you pull up the playoff picture, if the season ended today, 4 NFC North teams are in the playoffs, all 4 of them.
Wow. You guys were hyping it up last week. Is it a possibility this happens? That's a good fact. I still think the Bears are going to wet their pants down the stretch, but I like those other 3 teams for sure. And I'll give the Bears credit. I don't know how tough their schedule's been, but they're winning games. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, and we go to the Jags next week. I'm pretty confident in that too, although this line is disrespectful. 4.5.
Where's it at? Where's it at?
It shouldn't matter. We could be playing in Alaska, and this line should not be 4.5, but it's in Jacksonville.
That is a fishy line. I mean, they're coming off of a win, but it was against the Patriots.
I think we're going to kick the shit out of them.
It's a fishy line. That's a kind of a fishy line there.
Interesting. But yeah,
that makes me nervous for your Pack now.
No, not against that Jaguars team. I hate the Jaguars. You know this. They know that. We know that. We're going to kill the Jaguars. Put all the money you have on the Packers.
Is that financial advice?
No. Responsibly replace a large wager on the Packers next week.
All right.
Shit, it might as well be financial advice. We went 4-0 last week in our picks. So
that is true.
Let's make it financial advice. You want to get rich, you bet with Lamb on the line.
That is a fact. We can't deny that. The proof is in the pudding on that. Let's move on to the other NFC North game that was going on at the same time, and this was actually in division rival game. It was the Lions in a thriller, taking down the Vikings 31-29 and moved to 5-1. Kind of a quiet 5-1, I will say. And it's the first loss of the season for the Vikes. Field goal late wins it. And all around, Jared Goff played a great game. Jahmyr Gibbs played well. And they were the first team to really prove that they could get through that Vikings defense. I thought that Sam Darnold held his own. I thought Aaron Jones played well. Justin Jefferson had a hell of a game. But my storyline for me was, hey, finally someone got to Brian Flores a little bit. And that really sells me on the Lions. I think the Lions, that was kind of a statement game for them. I love what I had to see from them.
Yeah, they're legit. Vikings get handed their first loss. I took a gander at their schedule this weekend. They've got to have one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. They're a shoo-in for the playoffs by now. Yes. Oh, my God, yes. They go Rams, Colts, no offense, Jags, Titans, Bears, Cardinals, Falcons, Bears. Like, what is that? So, anyways, this was great because I watched Money McManus kick the game-winning field goal for us, flip the channel to the Vikings game, and immediately watched that Bates guy knock through the field goal for the Vikings to lose. I was like, oh, my God. This is perfect. And let me say something. People love, Iowa and Iowa State. I can be a fan and root for both those teams. Now, when we're talking Packers, Vikings, and we're in the same division, I have to root against the Vikings. That's just how it is. We have to be ahead of them in the standings. That's how it goes. It's a whole different story. So I was happy to see them lose. They're probably going to bounce back, play the Rams next week, be 6-1. But I think the Detroit Lions they could win it all.
Wow.
With or without Aiden.
That loss is a big blow, but I think you're right, dude. I think they definitely look like they haven't lost a beat from last year. And even with Hutchinson, I agree. I think they could make a run at the whole thing, at the big thing. It's shocking hearing you say that though, as a Viking or as a Packers fan.
Yeah, that's another. What's a team? There's a team in the AFC South you don't mind, right? Or is that wrong?
I don't mind the Jags for the most part.
That's kind of how I am. Like, it's hard not to like the Lions. I don't like the Bears. I don't like the Vikings. But the Lions with Dan Campbell and Jared Goff's a super likable guy. David Montgomery, Amon-Ra. I should have hatreds toward the Lions, but they've been so bad for so long. They deserve a couple winning seasons here and there.
I would agree. I think that city deserves that. It's a great city, Detroit. They love their Lions football. It's good to see them not bottom feeders for once. It makes the Thanksgiving game a little bit more interesting. I mean, for a while there, people wanted to yank the Lions' privileges to play on Thanksgiving. Now they're giving us something to watch.
Yeah, who do they play Thanksgiving?
I don't know.
Oh, the Bears to start off our day.
Wow.
It's a good game.
That might be Bears upset.
Let's take a gander at that really quick. Let's see what the Thanksgiving slate. So, Dolphins Packers at night. Probably not going to be a great game, but I'm a Packers fan, so that helps. Bears Lions and Giants Cowboys at 3:00 slate.
Nice.
That could be better.
You not excited for that 3:00 game?
The only thing that could make it exciting is if the Giants somehow win that football game. And that's like a 5% chance of happening.
That's true. I will say that Giants-Bengals Sunday night game 2 weeks ago was one of the best games of the season, for my money's worth. 17-7.
You like that kind of football. I don't. I'm on the other end. I want points, and I want a lot of points. I don't like watching Daniel Jones and that sorry wide receiver core they have.
We can get into that. That was one of the games we were going to discuss. We went back and forth. Like, should we pick Jaguars and Patriots? They did play, in the London game. But honestly, fuck Jacksonville. I don't give a shit if it's a standalone game. There's nothing I want to talk about in that game except for the fact that they were in fucking London for 2 weeks, fucking half a month, because they played back-to-back London games in a row. What the fuck is that? Just move over there.
Yeah.
But we replaced that game. We're going to talk a little bit of Giants and Eagles. I thought it was a big game because the Giants made themselves look like idiots. They didn't want to re-sign. They wanted to re-sign the running back. Barkley? They could have gotten him for peanuts. He wanted to come back. They didn't re-sign him. And what does he do? He signs with the rival, and then the first game back kicks their ass. He went off. I think he had 2 touchdowns, went nuts. And the Giants owner actually had a quote before when Barkley was still like a free agent, or he's like, I hope he does not sign with the Eagles. That's all I hope. Well, he did, and then he comes back and kicks your ass. And then Daniel Jones threw a hissy fit because he got benched. Daniel Jones looked like dog shit, man. He deserved to get benched. If he didn't have Malik Neighbors bailing him out the last couple of weeks, he wouldn't even have a fucking job. And I used to be a Danny Dimes supporter. I tried to defend that guy as long as I could. Even a couple weeks ago, I was giving him his roses. He sucks. And I'm done calling him Danny Dimes. I'm calling him Danny Pennies.
Are the Eagles back on the flip side? Or they just beat the Giants?
I don't know if they're back, but it was a big win for Sirianni. I mean, he made himself look like a damn fool 2 weeks ago. People seriously wanted his job to be fucking taken away. So it is big in that respect, but I don't know if it solves all their problems. I'm still not sold.
Yeah, they've got a couple more than just one problem. But so yeah, Saquon averaged the first down every carry, 10.4 yards a carry, had 188 total yards. That's got to feel good against your old team. The Giants, please tell me we wrote them off. I got to check. Yeah, we wrote them off a long time ago. I don't know where you go if you're a Giants fan from here. Got to draft a quarterback. You might as well tank and just draft a quarterback. Get rid of Daniel Jones.
They shouldn't start him anymore. I mean, the problem is they have this big contract that they signed him. They're kind of in the same boat as the Browns, where it's like, what the fuck do? We pay this guy a shitload of money. Like, you got to try to get something out of this investment. You can't just give up right away. But at the same time, you're like, oh God, he actually kind of sucks at his job. And we just paid him a bag.
Speaking of the Browns, really quick, they're one of the most loyal. I feel bad for all the Browns fans. I mean, you have gone through so much shit. Deshaun Watson, who you're paying $148 million in the next 2 years, who's probably won't play this year, probably won't play next year. And you have a bunch of talent, and you just continue to lose year after year. I was an Iowa State fan for a long time. For a long time, our football team would get 2, 3, 4 wins every year. That was terrible. But we at least kind of turned it around. The Browns The Browns are always going to brown.
They're one of the worst ran franchises in almost all of sports. I mean, just poorly ran every year since we've been alive. Can't ever draft a good quarterback. I mean, ever. Who was the best quarterback the Browns drafted? Fucking Brandon Weeden?
Baker Mayfield.
And they ran him out of town.
And then after that, Johnny Manziel, which he had some other shit going on. But
they legitimately thought they could turn Johnny Manziel into a starting quarterback. They thought Brandon Weeden was going to be the starter. He was 30 years old by the time they drafted him. They thought Brady Quinn was going to be their fucking long-time answer. They drafted Tim Couch in the 2000s. They've always drafted a bunch of morons.
All-time quarterback name, Tim Couch. What was I just going to say? Oh, yeah, I bet they're wishing they had Joe Flacco right about now.
I bet they are. I don't know why they didn't re-sign him.
But I decided they don't have another option besides Jameis, do they?
They do have DTR from UCLA. That's who came in yesterday.
No, start Jameis. Please play Jameis Winston. I love that guy.
Well, he will be their backup or now starter since Deshaun Watson is out for the season. It will be Jameis Winston, but he was not technically available last week. He was the emergency quarterback, and they started Dorian Thompson-Robinson from UCLA.
What the hell does that mean?
Huh?
What the hell does emergency quarterback mean?
So teams don't have to carry a third quarterback technically. They could say like, oh, we may have a starter and a backup, but both of them go out. They no longer make you have to play a position guy anymore. You can have an emergency quarterback come on and play.
So he couldn't play?
He can't play unless the starter and the backup get hurt. Then he can play.
Oh, interesting.
They just changed that. They just started doing that not too long ago. Before you would be like, oh fuck, we have to play a position guy, or that was always a debate. It's like, do we carry a third quarterback and waste a roster spot somewhere else, or do we just play two quarterbacks and hope none of them get hurt? Before you'd be fucked if you're both starting the running or the backup went down. You have to play the fucking running back. Now they make it so you can have an emergency quarterback.
That had to have came right after the 49ers playoff game, right? Against the Eagles.
I think so.
Had to have been. Brock Purdy changed the rule.
I was within the last couple of years. It's also dark in here. I got to turn some lights on, Sheets.
Where's our list of shit we were going to talk about? Oh, yeah. I got some questions for you about the Chiefs.
Let's hear them.
I think you're in two camps right now if you're a Chiefs fan, or if you're just watching the Chiefs. Camp one, holy shit, they're really good. They're playing like crap and they're still undefeated. They're gonna win another Super Bowl. Or there's camp two, where this playing like crap shit is gonna catch up with them eventually, and most likely in the playoffs, and they're not gonna be able to win these games all the time playing like this. If you had to pick a camp, what camp are you in?
I think they should be in that second camp. I don't think they're going to keep this up every single damn week. They maybe do it in the regular season, but in the playoffs, they start playing shit like this, doing shit like this. I mean, they got bailed out, I thought, yesterday. I think the play of the game was when Mahomes scrambled out there and tightrope the sidelines, and everyone is afraid to hit him because Uncle Roger will come out and fucking find their ass and fucking take away their paycheck. So they don't want to hit him anymore. And then he knows that. And then he tiptoes around him. No one wants to hit him. And he gets 15 more yards. That shit's bullshit. They got to address that. And I don't know. Yeah, the Chiefs keep winning. But Patrick Mahomes looks out of shape and not good. They have no receivers again. They're going to have to go get a receiver at the deadline. They can't keep throwing to these plumbers out here. So there's room for concern despite being undefeated. I mean, yeah, you can't argue with what they're doing, but at the same time, I don't know. I think long term, the shit can't keep happening.
Out of shape. Ben Roethlisberger won a Super Bowl out of shape.
Ben Roethlisberger was strong as an ox.
Yeah, I got to give I usually always give praise to Brock Purdy when he plays well. He played like shit this week. 3 interceptions. Ayuk tears his ACL, so he's done for the year. Which he just dropped more balls. What was his deal before the year? He didn't show up to preseason camp or something, and
Yeah.
was
He was in a
rusty.
He was in a contract holdout the whole season, and
Well, it
he was-
shows.
and then he was saying like they don't even want me to come back. They're trying to trade me. Like, no, we're
Mhm.
not. We just want to make a fair deal with you, man.
I forgot about that. But yeah, it's showing. Yesterday he dropped one that hit him right in his goddamn hands. 49ers lose. They're 3-4. I would love to see what's that division look like. Seattle's still on top, I assume.
Seattle's in first place. It might be the worst division in football.
Ooh, I don't know about that. Yeah. They could. No, it's your division. AFC South is the worst division of football.
No.
The Titans and the Jags alone bring you there.
All right, maybe.
But
They're
that
second.
division's tight. That division's tight. I don't think Seattle's going to win that division, but 49ers Cowboys next week. Let's play Guess That Line in San Francisco.
I think I did see it. San Francisco -7.
4.5
4.5.
on prime time next Sunday night. I don't like those Sunday night games. It's some fluke shit that always happens.
Weird shit happens on Sunday night. I got cleaned out last night. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was a Jets game. It was not a Jets game.
I got cleaned out too. I thought Devontae would kind of show up and is
Yep.
back with his quarterback. He's been living with Rodgers for a week now. I assume going through plays, taking ayahuasca, bonding the whole time. And I mean, he had a couple of nice catches, but they tried to go to him the first play of the game, quick little out, get him going, and hit him right in the hands, and he dropped it.
I know. He was even on the fucking Pat McAfee show with him.
Yeah, I saw that. He comes sliding in. That was a great moment. I like that. I'm like, I'm betting on Devontae's props. No.
You know, I'm not a big Pat McAfee guy. He was a former Colt, but I don't know. I don't tune into that show much, especially now that he's on ESPN. Now that he's on ESPN even more. I think he's sold out going to ESPN.
I didn't know. I thought you fucked with him.
I used to back in the old days, but shit's different now, I'd say.
Former Colt, too. Doesn't he have a ring?
No, he doesn't have a ring.
Wait, did you guys beat the Bears in that Super Bowl?
Yeah, he wasn't on that team, though.
Oh, okay.
He was still at West Virginia. I did get some tough news. Mason Doyle has said he's in the same camp as you. His throat is fucked and he can't talk. He has his picks, but he said he literally can't speak.
That's fine. As long as he has his picks.
Right.
He needs to revenge himself. I got to go back to his picks. We had him on a couple weeks ago. Damn, when was that? What game was that? Oh, well, he went 1-0 or 1-1. No, we had 2 Monday night games. He went 1-3, so he better be coming with some fire tonight.
He's got some good ones. Let me say that.
Okay, good. That's a shame. I was looking forward to talking to him.
It is. If someone else, I don't know if someone else is watching and wants to hop on late. If so, let us know. Otherwise, you're just going to get us 2 schmucks the rest of the show. You can live with that. Let's go back. Let's see. We did want to talk a little bit of trade news. And that was we got some new homes for wide receivers. Amari Cooper, new spot. Obviously, we talked a little bit about Devontae Adams. What were your thoughts on that trade? We're not even, wasn't even thinking trades yet. We're not even close to the deadline. And those are 2 blockbuster deals.
Yeah, I kind of like. I almost wish there was a little more of that. I like I don't need the amount of NBA trades that go on, but maybe somewhere in between the NBA and the NFL. I kind of like stars moving around, the storylines that come with it. But both great trades, I thought. Hindsight 2020. I mean, Adams and Rodgers have a lot of time left to get it figured out. But the Bills needed a wide receiver one after losing Diggs. They didn't really have that identity of a guy. And Amari Cooper, I think, probably fits in really well in Buffalo. He seems like he's always a dude that's just put his head down and work. He's pretty quiet, doesn't talk much. And he had 4 catches, 60-some yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, he balled out in his first game. He showed that he was legit. I mean, he made a big impact in that game.
He's going to be good for them. I mean, he's got to be so happy getting out of Cleveland. Big Cat said something about the minute he didn't really get going the second half, and it was right after Deshaun Watson got injured. So it's something new. He's like, the bad man is gone. I'm ready to go, and he just let loose. And I've got him in fantasy. I got to figure out if I'm going to start him or not going forward.
What are your initial opinions?
I think I might have to. Well, it's either him or Garrett Wilson. Ironically, both affected by a trade. And shout out Mitch Longcore. Actually, let's give him a quick shout out because that's who I played in fantasy. I was 2-4. I really needed a win. The dumbass forgot to set his lineup. But not only that, 2 other people in his lineup had a 0. So he's scheduled to put up 48 points this week. I think that's the lowest I've ever seen any fantasy team put up.
I called him out. That was embarrassing. Doesn't start guys. He's ill prepared, and 48 points is horrific. He might have to give up his spot in the league next year for that.
I think he's going to turn it around. I think he heard your text message that you sent him. I think he took it to heart, and I think he's going to start setting his lineup. But you never know. Also, with Mitch Longcore, he still maybe hasn't even read that text. We don't know. He doesn't read messages for weeks at a time. So
that's true. I texted him. I said, "Get your head out of your ass, Mitch."
Did you win this week, or what are we looking at for that league?
No, my team is not good. 2-5, I think. Well, all the teams I played go off. That's my biggest problem. I bet I have the most points allowed of any team in the league. Jack Cooley's going to go for 130 this week.
And we'll get to this in the Monday night game, but in my big money league, I've got 4 players on the Bucks. So every week I wait till the Bucks play, and that's basically half my fantasy team. And they've been doing pretty good. Baker, Bucky Irving, Baker, Bucky Irving, Cade Otton, and their kicker. They've been doing solid.
You and me both. I'm looking it up right now. You and me both have allowed the most points defensive-wise. It's 4 fantasy defense for us. We're just getting unlucky. I mean, by a large margin, too. I've given up 8. My opponents have scored 800. Your opponents have scored 799. Then the next person is 748, 734. So they're like 60 points below us.
Yeah, I told you, Sheets. And if anyone's out there listening and wants to join a league next year, Matt Mackler's on board. I think I have Funk on board. I want to do a league. Fuck the matchups. Every week, you have a 10-person league. The 5 highest scores get a W. The 5 lowest scores get an L. And people bitch about it kind of takes out the fun aspect of a matchup. No. Think about tonight. We got 2 Monday night games. Maybe the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th place teams all have people playing. All of a sudden, it's a fucking crapshoot to see how it all ends up. And by the way, if you get the top points in that week, you get 2 Ws. If you're at the very bottom of the league that week, you get 2 Ls. What do you think about that?
I'm in a league where we do that, and it kind of pisses me off. I'm not going to lie.
What? Really?
I'm in a league like that this year. I didn't know that. And I texted my cousin. I was like, what the fuck, man? I won this week. It says I'm 1-1. He was like, yeah. He's like, you didn't score. Like, you got to – I don't know if it's like top 5 or how it works, but it's like you got to meet a certain amount of points each week, or like you got to meet the median, like
the
league
average.
Yeah, if you don't meet it, you lose.
What about okay? So what if you lose but do meet? You score over the average. Do you get a win?
I think so. Yeah, I think you just got to get over that scoring average.
See, I kind of like that. I kind of like that a lot. You don't like it though, huh?
I don't like it when I win and then still don't get it. It pisses me off.
Well, that's fair. So you wouldn't be in to do it next year?
I mean, I wouldn't advocate for it, but
Well, if someone drops out of that league, you let me know.
I will. It's my cousins. It's a league of my cousins, but you can join the fan.
Okay, I'll be in the cousin family for a fantasy football league. We got ourselves a guest, by the way. He'll be joining here anytime.
I need another fucking light in here, Sheets. It's getting dark as hell.
Hey, you look like Darth Vader right now. Are you going as Mike McDaniels to Halloween again?
I think I should. I think I should.
I think you should too. I think you should just smoke a joint, to get a Dolphins windbreaker and wear some pants like he does, and go as Mike McDaniel.
Get a nice watch. I think I could do it.
Carry around a clipboard with a play calling sheet.
Yeah. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to lock it in for year number 2. Mike McDaniel's Halloween.
Do you have an ass out of the week?
We do have an ass out of the week. You hit quick. You do your game ball, and I'm going to go get another light click because you can barely see me in this big.
My game ball is easy. As a Packers fan, it's going to Brandon McManus, our new kicker, who, by the way, our old kicker, missed an extra point this week. So thank God for another team. Thank God we got rid of him. But our game ball goes to Brandon McManus, former Broncos, now Packers kicker. And he hits a game winner. Automatically love the guy. He's going to either start out his career in Green Bay as on a iffy note, or he was going to start it out like he did. Maybe become, who knows, Super Bowl winning kicker. So that's my game ball.
Brandon McManus, I think he's the deserving winner of the game ball. I said anytime you take down the Texans, I'm going to cheer for you. I don't care who's playing. So like I said, go Pack, go Brandon McManus. I know a lot of the Packer fans are kind of pissed at him, right, the last couple of weeks. So he gets a monkey off his back, and it's a big win. And like you said, your schedule gets a little favorable the next couple of weeks. So this is a big win for you guys. The ass out of the week, I'm going to give – I thought about going a couple different ways with this one. Like I said, there's always deserving candidates each week. I thought that Aaron Rodgers was in the mix this week for ass out of the week. After the game last night, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, real quick. But after the game last night, he blamed the media for the Jets' problems. He says, it's you guys. We got to stop listening to you guys. That's our problem. It's like, no, it's not your problem. But the real ass out of the week was Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett – Deshaun Watson goes out for the year yesterday, and when he gets injured, the fans are cheering. And now, obviously, we don't cheer for injuries ever, no matter who you are. You know, we don't cheer for the injury when a guy's laying there, even if we hate him. We don't do it. You might think it. You can think it in your head. You might go, "Oh, yeah, right," but you don't. You don't actively cheer out loud, especially when you're at the game. The dude is really lying. But anyways, after the game, Myles Garrett goes after the fans. And he says that, while he's in this fiery rant about Deshaun Watson, he says, Deshaun Watson has been a model citizen everywhere he's gone. And it's like, oh, okay, now you lost us. Now you lost us, buddy. No one thinks Deshaun Watson is a model citizen. He doesn't even think he's a model citizen. And I bet fucking none of those girls who came forth against him think he's a model citizen. That was a disgusting comment by Myles Garrett. There's one thing about backing up your guy, defending your guy. But then you take it to that territory, you lose all credibility. So Myles Garrett is ass out of the week. Nothing he did on the field, just the comments he had to say afterwards. He thought that he'd be real slick and say that Browns fans should be ashamed of themselves. Deshaun Watson is a model citizen everywhere he goes.
Yeah, look, I know you got to back up your teammate and probably spend a decent amount of time with them, but you just can't. You just can't say that. You know that's going to get clipped, and you know that's going to be everywhere. And if I'm trying to think, is there? And you're right. We never root for injuries, but is this the closest we've ever gotten to rooting for an injury that actually happened? Because that Brown Stadium, he was happy as shit when he went down and carted off. I mean, they were hooting, hollering, high fiving. They were chugging beers. It was. The question is: has there ever been an injury that has been like this, where we're like, oh, you know what? Maybe it's not the worst thing in the world for everybody.
Those Browns fans, I still don't think you should do it, but that is probably as close as you can get to being allowed. I mean, this guy comes in, they pay him a shitload of money. When it happens, everyone's like, this is not a good deal. Like, he's not worth this amount of money. He comes in, immediately gets overpaid. He's reeling off of a sexual assault case with not one woman, or not even 2 women, or 3 women, which is, 1 is terrifying. And then you get to 3, it's like, what the fuck? There were like 25 women plus. I think it might be 30 plus. This guy is not. He's a model citizen. This guy's a scumbag. And then he plays like shit too. So he gets overpaid. He is already hated. And then he plays like dog shit. And so, yeah, the fans maybe got a little carried away, but it was about as close as you can get to cheering for a guy. It's you never cheer for torn MCLs and ligaments, but that guy, it was somewhat of a fitting end to his Browns career.
Here's the unfortunate part, Sheets, is he's going to have surgery. You know what he's going to need more of? Massages.
I know.
He has to go back.
He does.
Is there a masseuse that will give him them? I mean,
I don't. He might have to be a male, probably.
It should be. Honestly, legally, he should only get massages from males from here on out.
That should probably have been in the sentence if he was ever. I guess he wasn't technically. Never was like. He never got in legal trouble, but I know he had all kinds of civil cases that did not go his way. So.
Yeah, not kind of a funny but not funny situation going on in Cleveland. I think we're allowed to laugh at it, not at him being injured, but at the situation that's going on.
It is hilarious. It's typical Browns fashion. It is comical in a sense.
Do you want to get it? Why don't we do our picks, since Doyle sent in picks and Beck's not going to have any. Okay. So we should do our picks now. Get that out with, and we'll preview the Monday night games.
Let's do it.
Do you want to start? Or Doyle start?
First.
All right.
Doyle says, sorry, guys, can't come on. Can't even talk. My throat is fucked. My picks are Ravens minus 62.5. So we'll have that Ravens total spread. Ravens spread.
What is the spread? 4.5?
I think it's 4.5, yeah.
Ravens minus 4.5.
And then he has Lamar Jackson over 800 total yards.
Okay, so we'll take the 8. We'll take Lamar over total and rushing and passing.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me figure that out. Hold on, I'm writing these down as we go. This is perfect because these are going to end up hitting. I swear to God.
Yeah. The next one, I don't know how we're going to measure this one, but he says Kyler Murray to hit his growth spurt.
What makes you taller? What makes you taller? Bigger shoes, glass of milk. Shoes, bigger shoes. Maybe his
rushing.
That's what I have though. So maybe we shouldn't use that.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson passing and rushing 289.5.
Yeah, I like
that. So growth spurt. Yeah, how are we going to measure that?
Well, if that's your pick, we'll just do Kyler Murray over passing touchdowns. That's a big boy.
Okay. All right. Hold on. I love this.
If he wants to be a big boy, he's got to throw it through the air.
How about Kyler Murray anytime touchdown? Big boy scores
That'd be good
touchdown.
too. That'd be big boy.
All right. Well, and did he have
And the
a
next
full
one,
board?
the next one is straightforward. J.K. Dobbins anytime.
All right. Okay. Sweet. Do you want to do yours or do you want me to do mine?
You can go.
So I told you, Bynes and I are both 9-7. Although this week, I think it was a weird board, but I did come up with 4 bets that I think are going to hit. One of them's weird, but we're going to take Derrick Henry over 10.5 rushing yards per quarter, each quarter.
Yeah.
I think they feed him the ball. They have fed him the ball. They're going to continue to do that. 10 yards a quarter or 11 yards a quarter. I think that's really doable. I think it's at like plus 110. And then I have Lamar anytime touchdown. I don't know why. I love betting on Lamar anytime. He runs the ball all the time. You never know when he's going to break one and just take it to the house. So those are my 2 Ravens Bucks picks. And then I'm all over. I've got a trend right now betting running quarterbacks when playing a good defensive end or pass rusher. So I've got Kyler Murray playing Bosa tonight, over 32.5 rushing yards and over 5.5 rushing attempts. I think he's going to have to escape the pocket a couple more times than he's used to. And he likes running already. And maybe that's part of his growth for being a big boy. So I like those 2 bets.
Yeah, I do too. I was going to go with Buccaneers spread, but since Doyle already picked Ravens spread as the official pick, I'll improvise. And I'm going to take the under. The under is 50, I believe, maybe 50.5. I'm taking the under in tonight's game. Get this shit off.
I've got it.
Taking the under in tonight's game. I think everyone 51.5. I think everyone and their mother thinks it's going to be high scoring. I don't know.
We talked about this last week. You remember this? We looked at this game and we're like, that's an over. But then we looked at the line and we're like, maybe that's an under. So I like that pick.
That's right. That's what I remember. I do remember that. I think that is a trap. We called it a week ago. I think it is a trap. I would take the under in that one, 51.5. And that's a lot of points. I mean, 48 points, 50 points even could get you a win. And I could see that happen. Like a 27-23 game, something like that, and you still win. So give me the under in that one. And then let's go with the prop. I did have some backups in case if we did have discrepancy on the spread. So I'm going to go with Derrick Henry over. Or we already have that. No, we have Lamar's over. I'm going to go Derrick Henry. Which one do I want to go?
Rushing yards?
Let's do over rushing and receiving yards. 93.5. He's been tearing it up in the last 3 or 4 games. He's been going nuts. Been going nuclear. After there, it was kind of a rocky start. He's in a groove right now. And I'm not taking this under. That's one thing. I'm not going to take his under the way he's rushing the ball right now.
Joe.
93.5 rushing and receiving. I think he can get 100 yards on the ground alone.
I like it. That goes together with my 10 yards
Yes.
rush or quarter.
So we're doubling up on that. Give me the under and give me Derrick Henry over rush and receiving. And then game number 2, I'm going to go Chargers money line. They will win. And then I also like Will Dissly over 24.5 receiving yards. I have him in fantasy. 24.5. I think it's the Will Dissly show.
Interesting. I think it's a likely show on the other end.
He could go up too, but I know that Will Dissly's had a great practice this week, and I think Justin Herbert's going to eye him a ton.
Perfect.
Those are my picks.
I like those picks. Hopefully we go another 5-1 tonight. That'd be great. Maybe a 6-0. Like you said, if you're betting with Lamb on the line,
It was a big win last. Definitely are. All right, we got a few minutes left. Let's bring on our guest.
How we doing, folks?
Come on.
What the
Reese.
fuck?
There we go.
Could you not hear him? Miles, are you not able to
Says
hear
he's
any of this?
on.
What's going on?
Let's see.
Yo.
Can you hear me at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could the first time.
Yeah. Why'd you kick me out?
I don't know what's going on right now. I'm trying to add him.
Too much fucking P-Hub.
Wait, do you not think
Having technical issues. Bear with us.
Meisner's all fucked up.
This is
Me and-
on Reese.
Back
Me
you
and
can hear
Cheats
me,
are
right?
fine.
Him in the queue, but I'm trying to
Yeah.
add to it. It's not letting me do it.
Meisner, you don't understand. He's added. He is speaking.
Oh my.
I can hear him perfectly.
What the fuck, Meisner?
Oh, I
what
can't
is
see-
going on with your shit?
I can't see him on here. I'm on.
The Minnesota Pretenders.
Huh? You like that name?
Yeah, I like that a lot. You were pumped up after that loss.
Absolutely. Fuck them. They're the Minnesota Pretenders.
I guess it's just you and me, Sheets.
Without, I guess so. That's weird.
Your Bills got to win this
I'm-
week against a shit team, but they got to win.
I was watching a little bit of highlights. I mean, I was driving back down to Kansas City when they were in the second half, and didn't really watch much of it, but watched highlights today. And Keon that was his breakout game. I have a good feeling. Amari looked pretty good. He had one drop in the first quarter, but he evolved and he adjusted. And I'm assuming you saw that one play where Keon had pointed like down towards the end zone, like where the spacing was, whatever. So he looked good. Boys look good. I mean, that's a game you got to win. That's a game you got to beat their ass. And slow start, but boys adjusted in the second half. I was pleased.
Yeah, and your new toy got a touchdown.
Indeed, he did. I won money on that. Thank you very much. To the people, I won
Nice.
money on that. Thank you very much.
Hey, model citizen.
Miser?
All right, can you hear back now?
I'm back now. I don't know what happened there. My computer crapped out. The 2012 MacBook Air sometimes gets a little juicy, a little dicey. So I just gonna give it a couple taps, and now we're back. But it's good to hear you. It's good to have you on, Beck.
Thank you very much, model citizen.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
What do you think? Was the Bills and Titans, was that the game of the day yesterday?
Oh, fuck no. Absolutely not. That was an ass whooping we gave them. Now, as I was telling Brandon over here, slow start, first half, second half, we adjusted. I'm assuming you probably didn't watch a lick of it, Meisner.
I watched a little bit. I was actually intrigued by this game. Everyone else was like, this game stinks. I'm like, you know what? I like this game.
I didn't realize how good Tennessee's defense was coming into it. I mean, I think that was a problem in the first half, but they figured out what they were trying to do to him. So, Keon, that was his breakout game, Meisner. That was the other point I would like to make here. I think with Amari, that obviously opens him up and opens up the catches, and he looked good. He had a really good play in the fourth quarter. Hit a little slant route that went for 60 probably.
Who?
I don't know. Boys look good. Huh? Keon.
Oh.
He had
What do you-
100. He had a $125.
I was getting
I don't-
worried he was going to be
maybe
a
a
bust
touch-
there for a second.
Just his little rookie thing in the slump for the first couple weeks, but I don't know. Maybe that's got to build some trust between him and the quarterback.
I gotta say, Sheets, Broden sent me a stat today that over the last 5 years, Josh Allen is leading the league in interceptions, but he has yet to have a pick this year. Are you worried he's going to go the whole year without a pick and then throw it in the one time you don't need him to in the playoffs?
No, because there will be a pick before then.
You'd hope so, because if there's not a pick before then, that's bound to happen.
Well, not within the first 8 weeks. Rare, huh? That
You're-
all goes back to Joe Brady, our O coordinator.
You've been a
Is
hot
he-
better. You've been a hot better,
as
Sheets.
of-
What do you got insight tonight? 2 games.
Dude, I don't even know who's playing. Baltimore and Tampa.
Yep.
I like Tampa to keep it close. What's the line on it?
Ravens minus 4.5.
Yeah.
Meisner is also on the Bucks money.
Give me Bucks plus. Can I take them plus 62?
Yeah, Doyle did. Yeah, you sure can.
Give me Bucks plus 8. Plus 7.5.
And then if you had so Beck's giving us a teaser. First of all, you
Can
live
I give you
alone.
guys a teaser?
Something. Yeah, you did. Just Bucks plus 7.5, and then the Chargers Cardinals tonight, and the spread's 1. So tease that game too. We'll give you a little
Where's that at?
Becky 2 teaser.
Where's that at?
It's in Arizona.
It's in Arizona.
I don't know. I think I like the Chargers.
Yeah.
All right,
Plus 5.
there's your Becky 2
What's the
teaser.
line there?
Charger plus 5, Bucks plus 7.
I like Chargers to keep it close. I think Kyler, what I heard today was Kyler has a problem with defensive guys from college, like coaches from college who go to the NFL, like playing those college defenses. So we'll see about that tonight. But that's who I'm riding. Marcellus Wiley, baby.
And when did Call of Duty come out? Is that already out? October.
Can we talk about
29th.
the Cyclones? Can we talk about the Cyclones on here? Or is
Yeah,
this an
we-
NFL only podcast?
We've got 1 minute. left.
Meisner?
We can talk about the Cyclones if Meisner's
Meisner,
up
I know
for it.
you're a Cyclone hater.
Ah,
But
I didn't say that.
well, you don't have to say it for me to know it.
Oh.
But that's beyond the point here, Mize. Do you think they have a legit chance to? I'm not going to talk about playoff, but Big 12 championship.
Yeah, absolutely they do.
Okay.
I think you're better than BYU.
I thought you were about to ask him if we
Really?
could win the national championship, and I was like, "Oh my god, we got Zumba."
Now I'll ask a respectable question.
I think you guys can.
I need to buy some tickets.
You should get them. You should get them now.
You
Who
can't
we got
even,
left?
You can't
Dak?
even buy tickets to the Kansas game. We play in Chiefs Stadium in 3 weeks. They haven't even opened the tickets to us yet.
Why would I want to go to a fucking what's Kansas like 1-5?
2 and
Yeah,
5.
terrible. They did win last week.
Who fucking gives a damn? We're gonna fucking
right.
boat race then.
Call
Not
of
even,
Duty comes
it's
out
not a
in
boat
4 days.
race. We're gonna fuck them up. What?
Call of Duty comes out in 4 days. So Kyler
All right.
Murray's season's about.
True.
So I like that. You know, I'm gonna throw that teaser on as one of our guest picks. We're gonna have 5 guest picks
Yeah.
this week.
Yep.
So Beck teases.
Just
maybe
take-
he
Just
maybe
take
he
whatever
got the pre-order edition.
Maybe he got it already.
Bucks
Maybe
plus
he got it
7
early, so he's
and
been playing a lot.
Chargers.
Take the
Or what did you
just
say?
take whatever the Buck spread is and take whatever the Charger spread is. Tease that up. I think your lowest teaser is usually 6 points. So add 6 to that spread.
So Bucks plus 10.5.
10.5
Did you take the
probably.
Cardinals or the Chargers?
You said Chargers.
Chargers plus 5.
Yeah, so there'd be Chargers probably plus 5. Yeah,
Okay. I'm going to take that myself.
I am gonna take that as well. I think that's a good bet. I would tease both of those. But yeah, we have a Monday night doubleheader tonight. Shout out double guest action. Mason Doyle was here in spirit. Jake Beck filling in like a motherfucking G, like he always does on short notice. Doing a great job too as well. All right, motherfuckers, we broke it down. We shot the shit, and now it's time to strap it in for this fucking Monday night doubleheader. 2 games, twice that fucking action. Just starting a little later tonight, so fucking get a quick nap in. Otherwise, just fucking tough it up. Stay your ass up. Get some wings. Drink a beer. Let's fucking watch these motherfuckers smash heads for 4 hours in a row. I'm loving it. I'm ready for it. Great show tonight. Lay them on the line, motherfucker.